We're gonna jump right in and get started. Hopefully if you are here, that means you also received an email that gave you a highlighted overview of our agenda. We are super excited to be able to just come before you. My name is Mashana Council. I shouldn't make any assumptions, although you can see my name on the square. I invite you to do the same. And also indicate your pronouns so folks will know how to appropriately. But just wanted to welcome you. My name is Mashana Council. I am the MA and the Seraphim MA Collective. We are a group of facilitators that have had the absolute honor of being able to facilitate these learning communities for the last 3. And so we're excited to come into this virtual space and still bring the same energy, the same opportunity for connection that we know we have been able to establish, and to do that here with you all. So thank you so much. I want to go really quickly just to show you what our high level agenda is. Again, this hopefully isn't your first time seeing it. We like to take a little bit of facilitator's discretion, so know that we'll adjust as we need to, but appreciate you all joining on time so that we can wrap up around 12 o'clock. Also just wanted to give a note that we are recording this session, as well as recording the breakouts and the AM and PM sessions, and so we will make those available to you after today. I also sent out to you all some Zoom tips. So we are all experts at Zoom at this point, I'm sure. Zoom will make it into the dictionary, I'm certain, by the end of this year as its own. I mean, it's already in there for other definitions, but Zoom, the way in which folks stayed connected during this time, will also emerge. And so it's our goal not to become someone's Zoom meme, but if it happens, it's okay. But just wanted to draw your attention to some of our tips and strategies for staying engaged and connected. 1, overload the chat box as things are coming to your mind, as you're thinking about things, as you have questions, feel free to offer those up. Also, we ask that you appear on video as much as you can. I'm not an only child, but I'm okay talking to myself, but also love seeing faces. So please stay on the video as much as you can. And then also keep yourself muted if you can. We have some facilitator abilities to support that, but we ask that you keep muted unless you are speaking at the time. Note that at the bottom there is a reactions, and so you are welcome to give a thumbs up or a clap if you are hearing something that is resonating with you. Please contribute in that way. If you click on participants at the bottom, you also can raise your hand. So if you had a question or if you wanted to get our attention, you can do that. But again, we invite you to be able to just add to the chat as much as possible. I would love to give a shout out to the band members at this time, just really quickly. So Rachel, Susan, Falami, Patrice, and it's important because at times I may throw out some names because it's a whole production crew. And so I just wanted you to know, and if you were in morning sessions, you've already had a chance to meet them. One of the things that's important when any community gathers is a set of agreements. And so these are agreements that we created back in Chicago when we first had the opportunity to facilitate an LC. And so what we want to do at this time is just to pause for a moment, have you look at these agreements that's listed, and ask yourself, which of these agreements will you prioritize today in order for you to stay fully engaged? And so we're going to launch a poll at this time. And the ask is that you would take a moment just to read through those agreements that are listed and select the one that you will be prioritizing. We know we have lots of things happening around us, happening in our homes, in our spaces, and so just think for a moment which priority or which agreement will be for you today, and then select it. When you hit submit, the poll will disappear, and then we'll share results in just a moment. So the other thing that came up as part of our culture is this notion of a thinking box. And so we want to give a special acknowledgement to CJ, who is joining in, part of our Central Florida crew, who took time to design this thinking box. And its presence in our community was knowing that there are things that we're thinking about, things that we want to say, and maybe it's not the right time in the agenda, or maybe we just aren't ready to say it in front of a large group, but we know that it needs to get out. And so this, the chat room is going to be our virtual thinking box. And so again, we invite you to add to it, whether it's a question, whether it's a comment, whether it's for the Wallace Foundation, for Boys and Girls Club of America, if it's for the facilitators, whomever, please use the chat box. Dr. Falami will serve as our chat moderator. And so that just means she'll keep her eye on it, she'll reply back. but also be able to alert me if there are some comments that need to be lifted up in the moment. So we're gonna stop the poll right now and just show you our results of what we are prioritizing during this time. So that captures where we all were able to join in: active listening, being present, keeping that real open mind. Again, we just ask you to hold this to you, hold this dear. Think about, again, what you need to do to take care of yourself so that you can prioritize this agreement. But again, we are so very grateful for you all for joining us, and CJ for this thinking box. So please continue to use the chat.